Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4. Now in today's video I'm going to be discussing my least 5 favourite bikes, so my 5 worst in effect, but honestly there's no really bad bike in Ride 4, but if I had to really say 5 bikes that I don't really want to use, that's probably going to be in this list here today. Now I could only find 5. Majority of the bikes in Ride 4 are epic, so I only was able to choose 5 bikes for this particular video. So without further ado, let's crack on with the list. So in number 5 we have the Harley Davidson VR1000R, and I think I have mentioned before that I'm not a great big fan of the look of this motorcycle and of the feel of it in Ride 4. Now it's not necessarily a bad bike, but I just can't seem to really get on with it. I don't really particularly enjoy using it, and I'm not really a big fan of the livery and the colour scheme of this Harley Davidson. It feels very cumbersome and it feels like it should have a little bit more to it, but for some reason it doesn't seem to offer me much more than what it is. And it's not necessarily the worst bike in the world. Of course it only made 5 on this list, but it's not a bike I would often choose. If I was just running some laps in a track I liked or didn't like, it's very rare I would probably go for the Harley Davidson. And I said this in my last video that I probably wouldn't pick Harley Davidson in any of the lists, to be honest with you, because I just find them rather average at best in Ride 4. Whether in real life they're absolutely cracking bikes, probably are, but in Ride 4 I don't really have that urge to use them, and I think that might be either down to me or it might be down to the bike. But nonetheless, of course, 5 on the list is still not really a bad bike. It's just my 5 least favourite bikes to use in Ride 4. So if you are a fan of this bike, I'm not discriminating against it, and I'm not discrediting the brand that Harley Davidson is and what the bike can do, but for me, not really a favourite of mine, so unfortunately it did make the 5th number on this particular list. So moving on to the next one is the Virus 986 M2 from the Collector's Pack, and this is at number 4. Now first and foremost, I really don't like the look of this bike. It looks like it should be from a video game from the 80s. I really don't like it. I think it's extremely ugly, and I think a lot of the Virus bikes are like this, where they have that sort of appeal, and I just don't particularly like using it. It looks very, very short, and it looks very, very odd in my opinion. It's just a odd bike that I do not like using at all. I very rarely use it, maybe once or twice. I bought another one for this one because I think I sold the other bike that I had of this one. I think you earned it or something, I don't remember. But I had to use this one for a change, and honestly, it didn't feel that bad, but I just can't pass the look. It just looks terrible. I really, really don't like the look of it. And it didn't seem too bad, but again, with Ride 4, the handling is just so great. I really enjoy using all of the bikes. But this is a 5 worst bikes, I guess, and this one, unfortunately, because of its ugliness, and I'm not really a big fan of using it, I probably will never choose to use it ever again. So this bike certainly earned its spot at 4th place on my particular list. Now, of course, if you do like any of these bikes and you think I'm completely wrong, let me know in the comment section down below. But personally, this is simply just an opinion. Doesn't have any truth to it in the sense of this is what the general public believes. This is just what I'm thinking for my 5 particular list. Now in real life these bikes might be my favourite, but in Ride 4 not really that great. There is a bike on here that everyone will be expecting to be on this list, which I think if you followed my channel for a while you'll know it straight away, and you're probably already laughing at the thought of it's going to be in this video, but of course we'll get to that sooner rather than later. But for the time being, the Virus, not a fan. No thank you. No more. So next up we have the Energica Ego from Ride 4 Ultimate 2020 DLC Pack. Now first and foremost, I don't dislike electric bikes, I think they're fine, but this electric bike in Ride 4 is not good. There is an issue, I feel, with the braking. I tried this a couple of times in Monza and a few more times I think in the career mode, and this bike just does not want to brake. It's just so unresponsive and so unhelpful that I really don't like using this bike. I have no problem with the way it looks, and I don't have any sort of preference to the fact that it is a electric bike. I love watching Moto E, and of course the brilliance we had in Moto E for the past 3 seasons has been just awesome. I love the electric bike series, but this one particularly, I just never find a use for it in Ride 4. I always skip it. If it's ever offered to me, I'm like, no thank you. The brakes are just odd, and it doesn't feel very good. It doesn't feel very friendly to use. It's rather heavy and rather cumbersome. Now comparing it to something like a 600cc or maybe even an R1 for example, you can chuck it around in any corner you want. This one seems to give a lot of resistance. It seems to work against you. It's certainly worth using and it's certainly worth a try, just giving it an attempt, but it seems every single time I have used it I've not really enjoyed my time with it. The best thing I can really remember, or the worst thing should I say actually, the worst thing I can remember with this particular Ego bike was a challenge I had to do in Monza, and it was, don't even think it was upgraded, or it might have been upgraded, but regardless, the brakes were just terrible in Monza, and of course braking is so important for Monza that it really begun to annoy me, and I thought, you know what, I really don't like this bike, and I think ever since that moment it is stuck in my mind and I'll probably never want to use this bike again. Now I'm down to try it again though, and I'm down to try all these bikes again to see if I can change my opinion, but I guess if I don't really want to. I think that's why they're on this list. That's because I probably don't want to use them ever again, but unfortunately Energica's Ego is on this list at number 3 here today. So moving into the top 2 now, this is the Kawasaki ZX14R. Now I imagine you guys were a little bit disappointed last time because there was no Kawasaki's in the top 10, but the Kawasaki made it in the top 5, or the bottom 5 if you will, as the dubious list continues. Now personally, I really don't like these bikes in Ride 4. These hyper sport bikes, whatever they're called, I'm not a fan. They are heavy, they are bulky, and by God are they ugly. They are just really ugly. I mean, I am not a fan. I really don't like these bikes at all. I can't imagine racing with these, I really can't. I don't think I've used them for racing. I think I might have used them for maybe time trials, but I don't remember ever actually racing a Kawasaki ZX14R in Ride 4. If you have, let me know in the comment section below. If this is your go-to bike, let me know in the comment section down below. I would be baffled to hear if anyone actually uses this daily in the sense of the video game. In real life, probably. Absolutely. It seems like probably like a great bike to use in real life. Lots of power, lots of energy in it, lots of gusto to get you from point A to point B. And I guess it's probably a comfortable ride since it's rather large. But in video game format for Ride 4, no chance I will ever use it again, unless I'm forced to. I think there is actually a game mode in Ride 4 in the career mode where you have to use hypersport bikes. Maybe then I'll opt to using the Kawasaki ZX14R. There it is at number 1, the Suzuki Hayabusa. Regular Ace fans will know that this bike was coming. Did they know it was going to be number 1? Probably. But there it is, the most ugliest bike I've ever seen in my life. I really don't like the Suzuki Hayabusa, whether it's in Ride 4 or in real life. The bike is an absolute bust to maneuver, but it can be a little bit quick, so I guess therefore that is pretty much all it's got going. And I think also I really don't like the hype for this bike, in the sense of people may know this bike not because they're bikers and not because they're interested in these two-wheel motorsports. It's because it's the fastest bike ever in the world. That's why I always ever hear when someone mentions bikes, they see me in a bike top, it's, "You'll have the Hayabusa, mate." Yeah, it's the fastest bike in the world. And like, is it? Is it really? Who cares? You know, I'm just not a fan of the Suzuki Hayabusa. I don't like the fact that it's just so ugly. But again, I guess because it's a hyper sport, and I guess it's probably decent to use in real life, maybe it is good. But for me, in the video game for Ride 4, I never want to use the Suzuki Hayabusa again, and I think I've done this to myself. I am probably the person to blame for this, because I did a time trial challenge, the world record, at least I did hold it, in Cadwell Park on this bike. So can you imagine what Cadwell Park would be like doing a time trial of a serious competition against some of the best aces in the world? You're racing on a Suzuki Hayabusa on a track such as Cadwell Park that is extremely tight and very hard to maneuver. Yes, probably did this one to myself, and that's probably the reason why I don't like the Suzuki Hayabusa anymore. But that is going to be it. The Suzuki Hayabusa claims the dubious honour of being my least favourite bike of all time. Let me know in the comment section down below what your least favourite bikes are in Ride 4. And of course, if you do own any of these bikes and you do like these bikes, please don't take any of this personal. This is not an attack to the bikes, this is not an attack to you guys who own them. This is just simply a bit of fun, just me saying the bikes I really don't like in Ride 4. More so Ride 4, but I have mentioned some real life counterparts as well. But guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a little bit of fun, just something different to make, and of course it's different for me to actually try and hate on some bikes rather than talk good things about the bikes. Of course, I am majorly passionate about motorcycles in general, but for the time being, it's been different to use it in Ride 4. So guys, let me know in the comment section down below what your 5 list would be. And upon that note, guys, I think that's going to be the end of the video. So like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And stay tuned for the next one where we'll be looking at favourite tracks in Ride 4. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload and live stream. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys, and ciao for now.
Oh hi! Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now, with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.